Take two on our live stream today. This is Coach Hélène from The Coolest Journey, and I'm joined today with my esteemed guest, Gabriela Herrero, who is my favorite ice swimmer and adventure partner. Today, I figured we would talk about encounters with animals and how to deal with them. Well, it's going to be a really short video, but how to deal with them in general, and perhaps a little bit about sea monsters in our head. So, Gabriela, you tell me, you are in Lake Ontario, which we can see behind you. I'm in the ocean, and we can see English Bay behind me. Tell me about some of the wildlife that you have seen and how to prepare for an encounter with such beasts.
Well, the first couple of times that I've been swimming in Lake Ontario, I only thought it's not the ocean, so there's no sharks and I'm safe and nothing's gonna happen, right? So at the beginning, every time I saw a fish, it was like, woohoo! I was super happy. One day I was swimming. That was the first time that I noticed that there were fish that were not as cute as I thought. And I
As
was
as
swimming.
cute, as
Yeah,
cute. I like that. As cute. And by cute, do you mean size? Do you mean looks? Do you mean
yeah, it could
both?
be size and colorful, but because it's a cold lake and the fish don't have color, right? Like you can see silver, you can see yellow, but that's it. You don't see blue fish, green fish, nothing. It's just ugly colors. Then somebody said, "Oh, there's salmon. What did you think the salmon would look like? You think a pink fish?" And so one day I was swimming, I was alone in the lake and I was swimming in September. So I was swimming and suddenly I turned
Just
around
sorry, I have to say
quickly.
this. We usually do not promote individual solo swims. We always want to make sure that we have someone with us. Sometimes we just have someone on the beach with us as acting as our lifeguard. But if you're out there, make sure you are safe and you're with someone and you're visible. Anyway, continue on, Gabriela. I had to
Okay.
mention
So
this.
I was swimming and I turned around and there was this huge fish. The first thing that got my attention was the size. The second thing is that his jaw was open like this. He was ugly.
Oh, with that under, like that
Like this
bottom.
and yeah, and the
Oh.
teeth, right? So I look around and he was beside me. I was like, oh, what is this? And instead of swimming back to shore, I kept swimming in straight line. So he was swimming beside me. And I think he was also thinking, what is this ugly thing doing in my lake? But that was the first thing, the first time that I thought, my God, that's a big fish. So I came out and I started walking, and there was a guy close to the pier, and I told him, "Oh, I just encountered this huge fish," and he said, "Oh, it could have been a salmon," and I told him the size, and this is maybe a sturgeon, or he never mentioned the other one, right?
Oh, well,
So
and when you say the size, how long do you think that fish was? 4 to 6 feet long?
it was
Like one to
it
two
was
meters?
I don't think 2 meters, but it was 1.5 meters easily, and ugly, like ugly. I'm sorry for the little fish, but yeah, he was ugly. So the encounters with those fish had they're not very common, but I've seen the salmon, and the salmons, unfortunately, when they come back from the ocean, they're very ugly. They're black as well, not pink. And they have because they are starving, their face is kind of like showing the teeth. Then I was swimming in another lake, and a friend of mine asked me, "Oh, so you have to be careful in that lake because there are muskies." And I'm like, "You know what a muskie is?" I'm like, "No."
For anyone French listening to us, mesquinongie, I'm sure that that rings a bell. Hmm.
So the day that they told me that those fish existed on my lakes, it was like, I will not swim in these lakes anymore. And so now I'm afraid to encounter muskies. I've never encountered one. I've seen one taking a little duck once. Um, those are aggressive and they have beaten triathletes, not in Lake Ontario, but in Lake St. Clair. So I will never go to Lake St. Clair to swim. Now, I have had other encounters that are very cute. Oh, well, you were with us. Do you remember the eel?
So we saw two dead eels like a week apart, frozen on the sand on the shore, but never eels in the water in Lake Ontario. You
No,
saw it alive?
Peter and I have seen
Oh,
them
nice.
swimming, which is
Nice.
cool. But there are two types of eels. The ones that we encounter, which were the American eels, which would never do anything, but there's the lamprey eels,
Which
which
they latch
they
on and
attached.
yeah, they can take a chunk. Well, they take chunks out of fish. I mean, do they take chunks out of people? I'm not sure.
They
So
don't take the
those,
chunks, they just go and attach to you and they start sucking the blood. But you
yeah,
can pull them, but obviously they will leave you a thing.
uh, like a hickey or more, more than a hickey.
More than I
So,
think.
so those are a few of the encounters, and I know that you've had Canada geese, you've had swans, you've had ducks, you've had the white shorebirds as well. So,
Yeah.
how do you prepare for such encounters? What do you do during the encounters as well?
Well, with the birds has been really interesting because we have had, it was not me. I was swimming with a friend and the seagull was swimming on top of her. And I think something colorful got the attention of the seagull and the seagull started just following her. It ended up just pooping on her, but
Best case scenario,
but it
honestly.
was interesting to see that the seagull was on top of us. What we are careful with is obviously we love to see the swans because they're absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes they're just like close to us, but we know they can be aggressive. So you just swim, you try to get your distance, respect their space, and you respect your space. We have never been attacked by any bird. They just look at you and they start doing the quack, quack, quack. Or there was one that was swimming with us, like he was on the side, and they just kept following us, but non-aggressively. So how do you prepare? I think it's just giving them space. And when the fish are close, oh, the same thing. Like one day we swam, and there was like a big school of they call them fries, I think, the little ones, the silver
Mm.
ones. The same thing. I guess they got as scared as we did because we didn't know what was happening. Nothing happened. Now, in the lake, I don't think I have to worry about what's going to happen in reality with the fish. The only time that we panicked was that time that we saw that huge fin from a salmon that was upside down. I
Oh,
swear it looked like a shark
oh.
in
In Lake Ontario.
Lake
And
Ontario.
that's when our imagination goes crazy, isn't it? Like, oh my God, there's sea monsters in the lake. And I have a theory about all the sea monsters congregating to the center of the earth, and they have all these magical tunnels, and they all communicate, and they all grab humans and bring them down there to the center. They can even pop up in your bathtub and in your pools. So kids, don't listen to what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
that's what's
yeah,
going on in my mind, right? We're swimming and it's we see this thing. It's like, wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
another thing I have to
basic,
mention,
yeah.
sorry, I interrupted you, is this lake doesn't have a lot of weeds where we swim. Obviously, we have seen when we're paddleboarding, we see the weeds. I was swimming in, what's the name of this place? Glen Eden, Kelso. And it was when they were going to start, um, they were going to start cleaning the dam. And I was swimming with a wetsuit, by the way. And
That was a
yeah,
long time ago.
it was a long time ago. And I moved the weeds and this snapping turtle came out. But I was
Oh,
bothering her environment because it was the weeds and I don't like weeds. So, but I was
no.
just swimming and I could see the snapping turtle.
That reminds me of Gulliver's Lake. It's something like that too, snapping turtles in Gulliver's Lake, which is in Hamilton, just up the hill, um,
Yeah, I know which one is Gulliver's.
Flamborough area. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna say in the ocean, it's kind of, I mean, kind of similar, not so
Scarier.
similar.
No, it's not similar at
Depends.
all.
It depends on what we expect and not expect. But the number one thing is to talk to locals and to try and find out what could be there. And sometimes we can't know that it's going to be there. For example, great white shark came over to Vancouver Island not long ago. It's not their usual habitat, but it came around. So what do, right? I mean, you just don't, it would, humans are not part of their regular diet, but let's just say that I would not put myself in front of a great white shark just for the thrill of it.
Right. You
So
look like a seal with a wetsuit.
exactly. Don't wear a wetsuit. No, just kidding. Just be in the water, but know what dangers could be there. That's what it comes down to. Do some research, figure out what are some of the animals that you can encounter, because they can be fish, but it could be other things too. They could be mammals like seals or sea lions. They could be birds, right? We talked about the shorebirds. They could be my goodness, cormorants. There's all
Other
sorts.
cormorants.
There's all sorts of birds, not just the ducks, but like diving birds that you might see one going underneath you. I think you've had one of
Yeah,
those
that happened to
encounters.
us too a couple of times. Yeah, that's right. That I
Yeah,
didn't remember that one. Yeah.
and I mean it can be a little spooky just because you're minding your own business, you're just swimming away, and then all of a sudden you have this thing whoo, going right underneath you, or maybe you just see a shadow underneath you, which I've had a few times. It was a shadow, and it turned out to be Bubba, the seal, right? Just kind of hiding in my shadow, and I was told that the seals like to hide in humans and swimmers' shadows and the boat's shadows so that they are more invisible to the fish that they
Hmm.
are trying to eat. Okay, makes sense, but still, I got really spooked that time. I was like, oh my goodness, someone is following me. No, no, no. I had to mentally talk myself out of it. And that's part of the sea monster thing. But knowing what kind of wildlife we can encounter really helps. It,
Yeah, it helps.
even if you know that they're there, when they pop up, it could still be super surprising. And this happened to me this morning. Guess what happened? I'm
What?
out there, and I mean, I'm out there before dawn, so it's
I
pitch
know.
black. And I'm going to
Oh
be
my
including a picture at the in the comments here for the YouTube live once we're done. So it's pitch black, and I felt it wasn't just a tug; it was something bumped into my toe float.
God.
And I turned around thinking, okay, it's probably upside down. Something happened. And Bubba was right there. I mean, arm distance, eye to eye in the dark. Like, okay, Bubba, you
Don't do
can't
that
just
again.
do this. And I'm just starting. I'm in my first 100 meters, and I did a total of 450 meters this morning. And the whole time after that, he escorted me. And so knowing that he's there, you'd think I wouldn't be as surprised, but then he would just like pop up wherever. And I'm doing water running. I'm not doing swimming. So I can actually see my surroundings a little bit better, even if it's pitch black. He
Mm.
popped up a number of times, and every time I'm like, "Oh, Baba, you're playing with me now." So I'm talking to the life, to the wildlife, and I know, Gabriela, you do the
Yeah, I
same
talked to them
thing.
too. Yeah.
We talk to them, and I think it's as much for them to know that they can hear our voice and we're trying to stay calm and we're trying to make friends with them. It's as much for them as it is for us, right? To try and for us to hear our own voice and to stay calm and all of that thing, right? So I actually asked Bubba to do the sprints with me this morning. And then once we got past the last buoy on the way back, I told Bubba, okay, Bubba, my friends just got here and they're going to go in the water, and one of them is afraid of you. So you can't be with me anymore. So you have to go.
Just
Okay, bye
go away.
bye. Bye bye, Bubba.
And they
As
left?
if
No.
he laughed, as if he
Oh,
really listens to me, but
yeah,
he
okay,
laughed.
see you.
So, I mean, it was still pretty dark, so maybe he was still hanging around, but no, I think he was gone.
Or
So
maybe
yeah,
he just didn't want you to swim alone, and then now her friend is here. But you had it coming because at White Rock you had something that day too.
Oh my God, that was yeah, I've got a gazillion stories, but basically, people, if you are out there, you're in the water, you see some type of wildlife, the whole point is to stay as far, give them distance, give them space. Know ex what you could be expecting, like what could be out there. Maybe have a plan as to how you're going to deal with it. You will get surprised if they just pop up in front of you.
Yeah.
It's just innate. And then know what you're gonna do. Maybe you just repeat some type of phrase like, "Hey, Baba, how are you doing today? Hey, you're checking in on me. Thanks. I really appreciate it. I'm okay. You can go away now." Right? Whether it's a sea, whether it's a sea lion, an orca, a whale, maybe you want them to stick around if it's a dolphin or a porpoise, that's a different thing. Sharks, also
Yeah, but
different, right?
whatever it is, even if it's the most beautiful dolphin, you're gonna get scared. Like your adrenaline will pump up.
And we have to remember this is not our environment, it's their environment. And we need to give them space. So if they want to come and they're curious, they want to come and check us out, that's one thing, but always, always give them space in terms of boating safety. It's actually in boating legislation that you should not be. It depends on the animal, but there's different distances, 100 meters,
Distances.
200
Yeah.
meters away. It depends on the animal and if they're endangered species or not. Canada has a long list of this legislation, so you can always check, and it applies to all crafts, whether it's a motorized boat or a kayak or a canoe. But when you're in the water and they're coming to see who's out there, it's just you and your bathing suit and your little tow float. So
My
you have
God.
to have a bit of a strategy, and you have to, to talk to yourself and making sure that you don't panic. So you know what to expect. Have a plan if you have an encounter. If you do have the encounter, follow your plan, talk out loud, whatever your plan is, make sure you give them some distance.
Yeah.
And then once it's done, go back and make sure you're safe and tell other people that you saw blah, 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 because you want to make sure that other swimmers know what to expect. So
Yeah.
if it's a
Yeah.
white shark, the great white shark, you're going to be
My
face to
God.
face. Like you want to tell other swimmers before they go
Yeah.
in.
If he
Yeah.
allows you
Yeah, and
to
then
have
in
that.
White Rock on Sunday, that was one of the freaky things. I mean, I've had some freaky swims, but that one was even freakier than this morning. It was windy, wavy, strong current, not sunny either. I couldn't even see my arm underwater, and I mean, my arm is right there, and I couldn't see my arm underwater. Let's just say not conditions that are very good for my imagination to stay at peace. Very wild imagination. And I'm swimming against the current, and I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good. And I saw some shorebirds above my head, and they were coming down to about a meter to 2 meters just above my head. And initially, I'm like, okay, they're just checking me out, but then they're staying there 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. And I'm starting to think it's got to be another animal here, another mammal, like an orca or a whale or a sea lion, and maybe some more aggressive type. So now I'm starting to look around, but I can't see a thing, right? And that's when I thought, you know what, I'm getting spooked. I'm out. Like when we cannot calm the chatter in the head, like
Yeah, just get out. Now, did you do the same mistake that I made, like go straight, or did you go back to shore? Because I just turned around, like I'm going.
well, I was doing parallel to the shore. The door was on the shore, and there were people walking on the pier. So I had like people watching me on both sides, and I was swimming parallel to the shore and then coming back against the no, when I got spooked, I'm like, no, this is it. I'm going back. And so I can't remember how much I did, maybe 600, 700 meters that day. Not a lot. And I definitely could have stayed in the water longer. It was 9 degrees. It was comfortable.
Nice.
The water was comfortable. I didn't mind the current, the waves, the wind, the fact that it was turbid. Didn't matter. I had to go because I got spooked by
Yeah,
the
but
birds.
now your mind also was a little on edge because somebody told you that a week before the orcas were around the pier. So
Correct.
that's that's also it was in the back of your mind, or maybe there's an orca.
Correct. Orcas and sea lions. And when orcas are there, usually, the
Yeah,
sea
all the
lions
animals
are
go there.
seals, right? They're and the day before I had seen about 50 crabs it was very clear. And there were about like here and there, crabs everywhere.
Yeah,
And there were a lot of little fish. They're about an inch or two that I swam through a school of fish, and there had to be thousands of them.
yeah,
So I
and that's
knew
where the
that it was
whales
a
are.
exactly. I was going to say, I knew it was a very, very active ground for feeding on those 2 days that I was there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
When I was with
that's
you that week, we were seeing all the birds swimming on top of. We thought there was a whale, but no, it was just the
that's
sea
right.
lion that came out.
Yeah, sea lions, seals. We know that there are, schools of fish around. That's where the birds go, and that's where
Eat.
the marine mammals go and eat. But basically, just if we're going out in Mother Nature's playground, we're not the only ones. We're not
Yeah, not
alone.
just swimming. Like when I go running, there's coyotes, right?
That's right.
Or
That's right.
deer. Even the deer, they get spooked and they can. I don't know how you
Yeah.
say
Oh,
bump
the bucks, the bucks.
the bugs.
Uh, so
And there's
anyway,
also humans.
yeah. So we have to go, but be safe out there. Is there anything else you wanted to add about wildlife encounters? And we all have a whole other chat about sea monsters and the kind
What's in your
of
mind?
yeah, the
Yeah.
dialogues that we can have to de-escalate and make sure that we stay calm. And that's actually a great skill to have, not just for swimming, but it helps with day-to-day life, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, thank you.
We're done
It was
today.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not swimming.
we have so many more stories, but
I'm
and
not
you can
swimming.
see I've got foggy English Bay behind me, whether it's foggy, it's pitch black, like it's amazing. Like, oh, it's like, oh, something's gonna happen. Like imaginations are sometimes our best friend and our worst enemy.
Well, that day that I swam with you at night, that was my last day in Vancouver. I touched the chain from the buoy. Yeah, I got all scared because for me it was
Yeah, and we still know it's there, but it's the we are hypersensitive, right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
hyper aware.
Especially at night. I am super sensitive at night. During the day, I don't care whatever touches me. You just turn, but no, at night it's like, oh.
So keep that in mind, folks. Be safe out there. Watch out. Make sure you do your research before heading out there. Know what you might see. If and have some type of plan, right, in your head. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? Follow up with the plan. If something happens, make sure you give the animals plenty distance and go back to shore. Don't do like Gabriela did.
And do
With
some
straight line.
research. Do some research about
Yeah,
what can be in there. I think that's important.
I think so
Look
too.
for the muskies.